I'm Shahzeem Pasha, a gemstone dealer and a jeweler. Clients seek me out to obtain stones from around the world to create one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. I've just finished a deal for a pair of Colombian emerald earrings and a ring for one of my longtime clients, Natasha.
Wow, it was really worth the wait. You're beautiful.
And I recently connected with a childhood friend who's interested to acquire a pigeon's blood ruby. Agus is a very dear friend of mine who lives in Indonesia.
Yeah, I want to see you in person actually. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Hopefully soon, man. Recently, he started collecting gemstones, and he's asked me to source for him a 4 to 6 carat ruby that's pigeon's blood in color. A carat is a unit of measurement for all gemstones. 1 carat equals to 200 milligrams. Agus has asked me for 4 to 6 carats, which is extremely rare and difficult to find.
I like that size, not too big, not too small.
Agus wants to set the ruby in a men's ring for himself. The pigeon's blood ruby is the most sought-after color for rubies. The term pigeon's blood is believed to have originated from Myanmar, where the locals compared the stone's color to the bird's blood. However, there are other theories that compare the color to the central point of a pigeon's eye. Historically, Myanmar was the only known source for pigeon's blood rubies. The gemstone industry considers rubies as precious stones along with emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds. Rubies come from the mineral species known as corundum, which is colorless in its purest form. A trace amount of the element chromium turns it red. Gemstones are priced based on their color, cut, clarity, and carats. The rarity of the stone also plays a big part in how much it's worth. Rubies can cost anywhere from a few hundred US dollars to over $1 million per carat. The demand for Myanmar rubies has existed for centuries. There are records of mining in the country that go back over 5 centuries. Mogok is a district that lies northeast of Mandalay in Myanmar. The region is known to have more than 1,000 mines producing various gemstones such as spinels, sapphires, and rubies. But more than anything else, Mogok is renowned for its pigeon's blood rubies. Foreigners have been allowed in Mogok only since 2013. Prior to that, there was a ban to protect the local trade and prevent foreigners from buying directly from the mines. I have personally been to other mines nearby, the ones in Mandalay in 2006. The fabled Mogok Ruby mines in Myanmar seem to be running out. A Mogok Ruby will hold its value and perhaps become even more valuable should the mines go dry. But I know of one ruby that I may have access to.
Hey, come in.
From my uncle. How are you, John?
Fine, how are you?
Good. He's the same guy who taught me all the ropes of the gem business, and I had my first trip to Sri Lanka with him. He has a lot of knowledge on gemstones, and I'm always excited to meet him.
I've been in the business from 1980, actually, from my elder brother. So he started the business first, and then eventually, we all get in the business also, Looks like paparazzi star.
Yeah. You got any customer for this, huh?
I will let you know if there's anyone interested. I will let you know. Huh?
Nice style also.
Nice, yeah. Actually, Shahzeem came over here. Shahzeem showed me a stone which he has kept for quite a number of years. It's a star paparazzi, you see. I mean, it's not easy to get such type of stones nowadays also. You better put it in the ring, Shahzeem.
A star paparacha comes from the mineral species corundum, just like rubies and sapphires. The color is thought to resemble a lotus flower, which is orangey pink. This is an extremely rare stone that I acquired from Sri Lanka. One of the main reasons that really caught my attention in this business was how he conducted his business. He's always very jovial and is always having a good time. And I think that really persuaded me into joining this industry. I was thinking pendant, no?
Oh, like pendant, the stone is small, you know?
A few years ago, my uncle showed me a Burmese ruby of around 5 carats. I remember it was a spectacular piece, and I'm hoping he still has it, and I might be able to persuade him to let me show this to Agus. I got someone who wants to buy it.
No, forget it. Because you know why, listen to me, if I sell it or what, I can't replace it, Shahzeem. You know. So honestly, I was reluctant to part with the stone. I have got so many offers on the ruby also myself. But Shahzeem keep on pestering me that he have a customer. And that's when I asked him, he said it is for Agus. Yeah, you just have a look on it first, all right?
Yeah,
See first, Well, it is of sentimental value actually to me, you know. If it's not for Agus and the family, honestly, I will not part with the stone because I can't replace it. You know, that's the sad part of it. Once it's sold, you don't think of getting it back again. You can't replace it.
I totally understand my uncle's reluctance. It was a gift from an old friend of his in the 1990s.
Very clean, very clean.
This pigeon's blood ruby could fetch up to $30,000 per carat. It's really nice, Minja.
Yeah, that's why I've been keeping one. If it's not nice, what I keep?
Thanks, I keep this first, okay?
Okay, you bring this with you.
So,
Then as soon as possible, you know
I'll
what
let you know
says.
what he says.
Can.
At the moment, I've
Then
borrowed this
see
stone,
what if it's
but I'm
interested
sure
or
I can get it sold when I show this to Agus. I grew up in a family of gemstone traders. My father inspired me to take up the trade. Both my parents were born in Indonesia. They moved to Singapore around the 50s, and they've been living here ever since. I was born in Singapore, and so were all the rest of my siblings. My father retired in 2009 and moved back to Indonesia.
I've been doing the gem business for the last 50 years, and now I'm retired. I started in 1970. I took over the business from my father. This is a family business. You see, we've been a gem dealer, not a jeweler. Now, basically, we are more interested in the gem because the bulk of the cost is in the main gems, you see. So we go to scout around the world. Well, there are several stones, expensive stones we ever deal with. We have sold, I think, the highest emerald is about 700,000 US a piece. Ruby, we have also sold one which was very good, about 900,000. Now, obviously, diamond, the highest one we have sold is over $1 million. You know? So these are the top stones, and we don't sell that every day, you see. So, but on special orders. We started our office in Singapore. They also have an office in Bangkok, yeah, in Jewellery Trade Center. Then, when I used to go to Colombia also, we have an office in Emerald Trade Center, Bogota. But obviously now that is closed because, you know, I'm retired now. Shahzeem, in year 2000, he's supposed to actually study law. But he followed me several trips before that to Colombo, Sri Lanka. He told me that, you know, I'm not going to UK to study law. So I want to do the gem business. So I allow him to do that. So now he takes over the business. Business do rely on personal contact and relation. That's very important. So whatever relation I got this for the last 50 years, I have passed down to my son, Shahzeem, so that he can continue from there. Shahzeem being a gemologist, he understands the thing well on this subject. So that is very important.
It's best that someone on the ground in Jakarta shows Agus the ruby personally, and I'm the perfect person for the job.
Saya bekerja dengan Shahzeem di bidang batu sudah cukup lama, selama kurang lebih 15 tahun. Selain sebagai partner dagang, saya juga masih ada hubungan saudara dengan Pak Shahzeem sebagai cousin. Sejarah awalnya sewaktu saya ke Thailand, kebetulan Pak Shahzeem masih sekolah di sana sebagai gemologist. Awal mulanya Kita ketemu di sana dan mulai berdagang di sana bersama. Kita juga banyak berangkat sampai ke Burma untuk melihat batu-batu ruby.
Shahzeem, how are you, man?
Good, I'm good. You okay?
Good. All good, alhamdulillah. Where are you going? You're driving?
I'm from Semarang, coming back to Jakarta.
Okay. Drive safe, man. I need a favor from you. I've got one ruby that I'm going to send to you. I need to set it in a men's ring.
Okay.
And I need your help to help me show it to Agus.
Okay, no problem.
Can, right?
But send the goods.
Okay, the goods will be coming next week. And then I will start sending you the design later tonight. And then we'll see from there.
Okay, no problem.
All right?
Just let me know.
Okay, thanks. Drive safe, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Take care, yo. Bye. I really hope this deal goes through. The market situation at the moment isn't so good, and this stone will really help me out. I'm very confident Agus will take this stone, but you never know. I'm Shahzeem Pasha. I'm a gemstone dealer and a jeweler. Clients hire me to source for gemstones from around the world. As a gemstone dealer, Imran's exactly like me. We both crave adventures. He mentioned to me that he wants to visit a Black Opal mine to see whether he can establish contacts and get some business going with that mine. Opals are semi-precious stones that are just as desirable and valuable as diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies. They come in different colors such as white, brown, orange, and yellow, but the most prized ones are the black opals. In Indonesia, black opal is known as kalimaya. Black opals range from a few dollars to thousands of dollars, depending on the quality of the material.
Kita berada di Rangkas Bitung, di Provinsi Banten. Kita hari ini akan mengunjungi tambang batu kalimaya atau yang dibilang Black Opal.
Imran hopes the mine owner will sell him at least one black opal as a sample. The mine is located about 120 kilometers from Banten city center. The mines are usually located deep in the jungles, 15 to 35 meters underground with very little oxygen. As a gemstone dealer, we have to be intimately familiar with gemstone mining. Imran also knows that artisanal miners are vital to the industry. Asep has been mining black opals for more than 20 years. This is his newest location.
Udah berapa lama Pak lubang ini digali Pak?
4 bulan.
4 bulan. Udah mulai keluar hasil Pak?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Galiannya berapa dalam Mas ini?
20 meter. Ke bawah 20, ke samping 20.
Asep hires men who are seasoned opal miners. He works with about 7 of them in total. Asep's family have been mining in this way for generations. Knowledge about how and where to mine has been passed down from generation to generation. He and his men have paid the owners of the land in a local village about $200 to dig there.
Peralatannya peralatan apa aja Pak sementara Pak?
Yang ada itu motor butut buat ngangkat galiannya.
Oh galiannya. Pak, kalau untuk menentukan kalau di lubang ini ada kalimaya itu gimana Pak?
Pengalaman sama rezeki.
Satu sewaan 200.000.
Galian ini akan diberhentikan tuh Bapak berapa lama kira-kira Pak?
Sampai habis.
Sampai nggak ada hasil sama
Sampai
sekali?
nggak ada hasil habis berarti.
Biasanya berapa lama itu Pak?
Tergantung batunya.
Bisa setahun?
Bisa setahun, ada yang 5 tahun.
Between 2014 to 2015, the gem fever in Indonesia sent prices skyrocketing. This attracted many villagers to mining. At that time, there were around 100 mines in this area. These days, the supply of black opals have dwindled and so has the mines. Shifts can last 15 hours per day. Some miners even end up sleeping in the mine to take a quick break instead of climbing back out. They face real risks such as tunnels collapsing and the lack of oxygen. The monsoon rains can flood the shaft, so they use a DIY pump system to remove the water.
Go home.
Pernah ada kecelakaan atau apa Pak sebelum ini?
Ada. Kesalahannya ini nih.
Dari mesin?
Dari mesin. Kan dulu kan nggak pakai sibal, pakai alkon. Tahu Bapak kan alkon?
Iya.
Yang suka ngambil air dari bawah itu kan alkon.
Iya.
Mesin kecil ditaruh di bawah. Itu kan karena udara mungkin ya di bawah, bensin kan jatuh gitu kan jadi racun.
2 workers died in that mine. Since then, Asap rotates the crew in and out more often. For Asap and his workers, mining is their only source of income and they have little choice but to continue despite the difficulties. Most of them work for their daily meals and receive a percentage from the profit once the stones are sold.
Kira-kira Mas, di sini berapa banyak lubang yang udah digali sama penambang?
Yang sekarang?
Saat ini?
30-an paling.
Ada sudah, tahu.
The minerals that are dug out contain deposits, including black opals. The workers must carefully sift the ore looking for the rare stones. Years of searching have sharpened their ability to spot even the tiniest black opal.
Batu kan banyak batu-batu campuran lain Pak. Yang Bapak ambil kan berarti bahan-bahan kalimaya aja kan?
Iya.
Nah itu batu-batu yang lain dibuang begitu aja
Dibuang,
Pak?
Pak.
Oh dibuang begitu aja ya.
The community has worked out a sales system. When miners find stones, they sell them to local dealers who gather nearby. Outsiders like Imran must buy from these dealers. The arrangements get miners a better price than if they went into the marketplace themselves.
Ini juga dijual per biji atau?
Kalau ini per paket biasanya Pak.
Oh, per paket.
Kayak begini paketan.
Ini kalimaya hitam?
Kalimaya hitam, Black Opal.
Black Opal. Harga benernya berapa Pak?
Harga benernya paling dijual 150 Pak.
150.000.
Kalau yang bahan.
Di 100.000 aja nggak boleh Pak?
Belum kena Pak.
Belum kena?
Itu pasnya udah 150.
Ya udah saya ambil 150 ya, buat contoh aja.
Iya.
Oke Pak.
Oke,
makasih.
Makasih
Ya.
Pak.
The sample will help Imran gauge the stone's quality, but there's no telling how it will polish up. The Jakarta Gemstone Center is a multi-story building that offers a wide selection of gemstones. The place is also a lapidary, providing cutting and polishing services.
Ini tempat batu, di mana saya terutama sering hangout di sini untuk lihat batu. Saya suka di sini karena banyak batu-batu yang saya bisa lihat, seperti precious, semi-precious, dan antik. Ini batu saya kemarin dari Banten, dan saya akan memolesi di sini. Selain kita bisa membeli batu, kita juga bisa polishing, cutting, dan membentuk batu-batu. Prosesnya biasanya mereka akan menaruh bahannya di atas satu stick dan di atasnya itu ada kayak glue atau apa untuk ditempel dan akan mereka gosok, dibentuk sampai nanti akhirnya terjadi polishing terakhir. Mereka akan menentukan hasil akhir dengan melihat fire-nya yang ada dalam batu opal yang tertutup dengan kulit itu tadi. Resiko polishing sih saya rasa nggak ada mas, tapi ya tergantung dari bahannya. Kalau bahannya agak getas biasanya pecah atau crack ya retak.
One thing about Indonesia, there's no shortage of skilled stone cutters and polishers. This is Imran's regular go-to guy for a polish.
Biasanya kita punya tukang gosok batu yang memang kita sudah tahu kinerjanya, jadi selalu saya pakai mereka. Saya berharap mereka bisa membuat satu bentuk yang baik dan bisa mengeluarkan fire-nya yang ada di dalam kulit opal itu sendiri.
Opals are valued for their fire. These are the colors that appear to be flashing or moving depending on the viewing angle. The more prominent the fire, the more valuable the opal.
Bahannya itu agak sedikit, fire-nya agak nggak sebagus yang saya harapkan. Saya ada satu kawan yang punya toko di sini. Mereka punya barang yang cukup unik dan harganya agak menarik. Tadi mereka menunjukkan kepada saya sebuah batu Alexandrite. Batu Alexandrite ini sebenarnya batu chrysoberyl. Berasal dari yang Brazil, mempunyai keunikan dia bisa berubah warna. Jadi dari hijau ke merah dan sangat-sangat langka untuk menemukan barang itu saat ini. Tadi mereka menawarkan per karatnya $3.000 per karat. Kalau menurut saya dengan kualitas barang yang dia tawarkan kepada saya, seperti barangnya cukup menarik ya.
I'm Shahzeem Pasha. I specialize in finding gemstones around the world for select clients. I have a network of many family members, including my cousin Imran, who is based in Indonesia. I'm sending Imran on a mission to set a pigeon's blood ruby onto a ring. I'm trying to sell the ring to Agus, who is an old friend and a gem enthusiast. I've got one ruby that I'm going to send you. I need to set it in a men's ring.
Okay.
And I need your help to help me show it to Agus.
Okay, no problem.
The Pigeon's blood ruby deal is very important for me. It's a 5-carat stone, and I need to make sure it's set perfectly into a ring. I need Agus to immediately fall in love with the stone at first sight. So this is the design that we have over here. As you can see, the ruby is set in the center, showcased by a sea of diamonds. We've used 4 yellow prongs to hold the stone in place. What happens with yellow prongs and rubies is that the color is actually slightly more enhanced. And that contrasted with the seabed of diamonds, I really think it will be spectacular. The ruby ring has been set, and Imran is collecting it from the designer Shafiq.
Waalaikumsalam. Selamat pagi, Pak Imran. Ya, silakan duduk, Pak.
Sehat Pak Shafiq.
Baik, baik, Pak Imran.
Gimana Pak Shafiq? Udah jadi ikat?
Iya, sudah Pak. Baru selesai. Oke, saya akan tunjukkan foto 3D-nya, Pak ya.
Iya. Bagiannya udah semuanya sesuai Pak Shafiq?
Iya, ini dengan desain yang kemarin kita sudah bicarakan.
Iya.
Dan
kita di Indonesia ini termasuk desain yang umum, yang paling banyak disukai oleh para customer. Di sini dibilangnya desain tabur.
The computer-aided design, or CAD, which Imran and myself worked on, predetermined the style of the ring. Imran checks the artisan's work thoroughly.
Iketannya sangat baik dan kerjanya rapi sekali dan finishingnya luar biasa baik. Saya puas sekali dengan hasil kerja dari Pak Safik tadi. Ini akan saya perlihatkan pada customer saya, Bapak Agus, yang ada di Bogor. Mudah-mudahan Pak Agus akan suka karena ini desain termasuk yang paling populer saat ini.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih Pak Imran.
Today I'm headed to the Gem Museum to meet an old acquaintance of mine, Kun Ming. I knew him when we were kids, maybe 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, well done. Yeah. My dad's still doing. He's running the lab, you know, and my wife and I, we came here. In Vietnam,
our fathers used to know each other, and over the years we lost contact with each other. But recently I managed to meet somebody who mentioned that Kun Ming actually runs the Gem Museum, so I'm very interested to have a look at what it's all about.
Wow, you know, I set up this museum with my wife 5 years ago, and then really just as a platform to connect between the gems and jewelry industry with the rest of the world. Because, you know, my family, my dad really loved studying about gemstones and all this, and we really feel that this knowledge should go out into the world. Yeah, and I know my dad and your dad did a lot of things together. What kind of gemstones you deal with now?
I mean, I do all sorts of gemstones, but mostly we trade with the rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds. The basic bread and butter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, that's the important stuff.
Yeah. It was great to meet Kun Ming after a long time and talk about all the old things that we used to do together and reminiscence of the time we first met. The first thing he did was to show me a map of the world with all the different mines located. And the interesting thing he did was add lights to all these mines. And with a flick of a switch, you found out which countries produce which kind of stones. Yeah, so I was in Tanzania looking for diamonds. I was in Kenya looking for savorites. I was actually in Savo itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
We ended up sharing places that we've visited and the mines that we've been through. And it was really refreshing to know that I was not alone in this journey. So he took me to see all his mineral collections, and he really had a few really fantastic samples that I really enjoyed looking at.
So this is a piece of spinel from Mogok. This is a rough piece. And I love it because, I really like it because it looks like a strawberry shortcake. You know the cake, huh?
Right.
And you know red spinel, the last few years, wow, the price going up crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I bought it a few $100s a carat, now it's like a few $1,000s a carat, you know. All the emeralds.
But this won't have the play of fire?
The gemstones. Okay, this. And I want to show you something interesting, okay? Not too serious. You know, every time when we look at stones, we see it got crack or not crack. You know, we use a loop to see. I see you got a loop. So this is actually a piece of amber.
He showed me one piece of amber with a bug stuck inside. Upon inspection with my loop, I managed to see the bug.
Wow.
No, you can see.
You see the bug, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the hairy, very
quite
hairy.
prominent.
Yeah.
He had an equipment whereby he could magnify it even deeper, and we managed to see even finer details of the bug.
So this is one of the ways where we make it interesting for people to look at.
Amber is a brownish, orangish, yellowish tree sap that hardens over time. By having the bug stuck in the amber, it adds to the value of the stone.
The Gem Museum started in 2015. My dad, Mr. Teh Tai San, he collected so many gemstones all over the world. It was in closets, it was in the safe box, it was in the garden. So we put our heads together and we created the Gem Museum. Thanks a lot to my wife. She really had a great mind to do it and how she put it together and to actually showcase to people what gemstones are. You know, with a story. Because a lot of times people show gemstones, oh, this one worth 10 million, this one worth 2 million, this one worth so and so. But we figure out like, people cannot fathom the value, the worth of gemstones. So we thought, why don't we put it together and we create an open space where people can come, like children, kids, and on to kind of learn about gemstones.
I think having a gem museum in Singapore is very, very important, and it really helps educate a lot of customers and those who are interested in gemstones to see how they actually are formed in nature before they are cut and polished. I find excitement in every deal, especially if the stone is one of my personal favorites, like the blue sapphire.
Are all sapphires blue?
Sapphire is actually in its natural form, right? In its purest form. You can see it from here. It's actually colorless. It's actually because of the trace elements, like during the formation, that it gets its color. Jeremy, an old friend of mine, is getting ready to propose to his girlfriend. He wants a sapphire ring, but that's all he knows.
When I decided that I wanted to get a sapphire ring, I came to ask for his advice and to ask him to help me source for a good one.
But you're saying that she doesn't really like the halo?
Yeah, probably not a halo, just a nice stone as a centerpiece.
Right. Jeremy's having a tough time choosing a sapphire. I totally get that. These stones have a vast range of colors.
She's always talking about sapphires and she likes the color, she likes how sapphires look. So I thought I'd surprise her with a sapphire ring.
The one you chose is actually the brightest among whatever's here. It's smack in the middle of like your cornflower and your royal blues. These are like categories of blues, right? The most desirable...
I had a few ideas of how I wanted the ring to look like, and he enhanced my ideas and also was explaining the process to me, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and I can't wait to see the ring.
I need to find Jeremy and his beloved a royal blue sapphire. The explorer Marco Polo once wrote that the best sapphires in the world are from Sri Lanka. So sapphires are prized by a combination of factors, including size, color, how clear it is, and even origin. Origin does affect pricing for sapphires, but to me, that's secondary. Ultimately, what I look forward to in a sapphire is how beautiful that stone is. As a gemstone dealer, my work takes me around the world. Besides repeat customers, I get new clients by word of mouth, and deals can be small or enormous. I have a garnet here, and this is a garnet I picked up in one of my travels to Thailand. The first thing I saw was the color. It was a bit interesting. It was raspberry-ish color, and I don't have a particular buyer in mind, but I just decided to pick it up. Now I'm going to get it set into a ring, and this color is usually more for a female ring, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm here to visit Esther. She has a history of working with my dad before, back in the 80s and 90s. My dad insisted for me to always do my settings with Esther because she's very trustworthy.
How are you today?
I'm good, I'm good.
Huh? Okay, what can I do for you?
I got a garnet actually, right?
Uh-huh.
Quite nice rhodolite.
All right.
I'm just looking for a casing.
Oh, okay. You seem to have a lot of nice colored stones. Yeah, show me what you have.
There you go.
Wow, 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 wow. This is a nice piece of stone.
Yeah. Esther is another family connection. My dad worked with her, and I would like to carry on that tradition.
We try, we see. But it's quite a big stone,
Yeah.
You want to find a pendant or a ring?
I think a ring will be
a ring,
best.
Okay. All right, let's see what can fit this stone. This one. Oh, this is too big.
Mm-hmm.
So this is out. This is also for a much smaller stone.
Right. Something like this?
No, too small. No. This is out too. I think maybe this one. Aha, good. What do you think? Do you like this design?
Oh, wow. It'll sit well?
Can be adjusted.
Can.
This one can. Can. Of course, we will bring the stone a bit lower, lah, not so high. Yeah. My husband is a jewelry craftsman from Hong Kong. So during that time, 40 years ago, there were many people looking for craftsmen to do their make-to orders. So we thought this was a good opportunity to strike out on our own. We were very lucky, very blessed that the business grew, and we had a lot of orders actually. During that time, it was really a very good and profitable business. And one of my supporters, I would say, is Shahzeem's father. I work with them very well. We have a very good relationship. Hi, 阿玲，有东西给你镶。你看这个可以吗？这个可以镶吗？
The main thing I look when I'm setting a stone is how the stone is enhanced by a piece of jewelry. As these are ready-made custom pieces, the most important thing is for the gemstone to sit comfortably well into the setting. I think the other thing we need to look out for is how it enhances the color of the gemstone. The name garnet actually comes from the pomegranate seeds because of its resemblance to it. The price range for garnets really varies. You can go anywhere from a few dollars to a few $1,000s. Historically, Thailand has always been a rich source of gemstones, especially rubies. But as the 20th century was running out, so was Thailand's supply of rubies. Today, there are very few active mines left.
ผมชื่อสำราญรัตนติเกียรติอายุ 66 เป็นคนจันทบุรีตั้งแต่เด็กๆแล้วฮะแต่รุ่นเด็กละความจริงเป็นรุ่นนี้นี่เริ่มเปิดพลอยนี่เมื่อปี 40-50 ปีมาแล้วมาเปิดเป็นหลุมนะเป็นหลุมพลอยขุดด้วยมือแล้วก็กบมาปัจจุบันนี้ผมก็ต้องมาทำตามเก็บของที่หลงเหลืออยู่ในใต้ดินเนี่ยแล้วก็เพื่อเป้าหมายในการเป็นแหล่งเรียนรู้ด้วยหลายๆอย่างแล้วก็ในพื้นที่มันมีพลอยหลายอย่างฮะทับทิมสยามเยอะแต่ที่นี่ไม่มีเลยมีแต่เป็นพวกโกเมนสีใกล้เคียงกับทางทับทิมโกเมนนี่จะออกสีแดงออกอมน้ำตาลแล้วสีค้ำหน่อยแต่ว่าพลอยทับทิมนี่จะออกสีเลือดนกแดงสดมากเลยสวยรู้ฮะดูได้ทันทีเลยตัดเดินทุกไปมันจะมีปนมาห่าง
ทำเป็นฝั่งในจำไม่ได้ไงอ่ะ
The mining method used here remains the same, lifting the soil and flushing it with water.
แล้วก็ทำไปเรื่อยๆฮะอย่างกองนี่ค่าใช้จ่ายนี่ประมาณเราตักกองนี่ประมาณ 40-50 ชั่วโมงค่าใช้จ่ายนะแล้วก็เราก็เริ่มฉีดก็พอประมาณฉีดได้ประมาณเดือนถึง2 เดือนได้นะเราก็จะย้ายตำแหน่งไปเรื่อยๆนะจนกว่าพื้นที่จะหมดนะเป้าหมาย
As the leftover gravel is sorted, they may contain garnets or other gemstones.
มันไม่แน่นอนนะเพราะว่าอยู่ที่ปริมาณแร่ด้วยเราไปเจอช่วงที่มีแร่ดียังใหม่มันก็โอเคยังเจอบ้าง4-5 เม็ดเงี้ยบางทีเจอก้อนโตเลยก็มีแต่ส่วนใหญ่ก้อนโตที่เราเจอนี่จะเป็นพวกกากพลอยมากกว่าแต่เนื้ออ่อนประเภทเนื้ออ่อนบ้านเราเรียกประเภทพลอยเนื้ออ่อนคู่กับเพทายของอย่างก็ได้ก็ขายเป็นเกรดมันไปหรือพวกเกรดกากก็คือกากคัดเป็นกองๆไปแล้วก็ให้คนเดินพลอยก็ไปขายให้ที่ตลาดพลอยนี่แหละ
In recent years, Thai traders have been traveling to other countries to purchase rough gems. The stones are brought back to be cut and polished. Chanthaburi thus became a gem processing center over the years, teeming with skilled cutters and specialists in gemstone treatments. It is now one of the most important gemstone markets globally. In 2019, Thailand exported around $4.6 billion worth of gemstones and jewelry items. The buyers are primarily from India, China, and Europe. When I was studying gemology in Bangkok, I used to visit Chanthaburi market, which is about 2 hours away from Bangkok, every Saturday. Chanthaburi is full of gemstones. It's also one of the oldest gem markets around, and you get to see a lot of gemstones everywhere. This really helped me with my studies as well, because I was introduced to so many different kinds of gemstones, its treatments, and all kinds of colors. Usually for the so-called semi-precious stones, they are sold in bulk on stalls and tables, just like that. You wouldn't really think that they are expensive, but because the traders buy them in bulk, even those deals are really pretty expensive. As for the rubies and sapphires, these stones are usually dealt within the offices in a different setting where things are a little bit more calm and not chaotic. Chanthaburi is a very important part of my gemstone journey. It is where I started looking at a lot of gemstones at one place. At the first instance, I would really love to go back and visit that market again. And speaking of rubies, my friend and client Agus asked for a 4 to 6 carat stone.
I like that size, not too big, not too small.
I sent my cousin Imran to get a beautiful 5 carat Pigeon's blood ruby set in a ring.
Itu Pak, ayo Pak Gusta. Ada.
It's time for the big reveal.
Kolektor nggak tahu deh, tapi suka-suka aja deh gitu ya. Ya karena waktu saya sekolah di Singapura itu, tinggal di rumah orang tuanya Shahzeem, mereka tuh suka bawa batu kalau pulang dari Sri Lanka, misalnya bawa safir gitu, atau dari Kolombia mereka bawa emerald waktu itu. Ya kalau misalnya kita lihat di jalan gitu kan, rata-rata kan laki-laki Indonesia kebanyakan pakai lah ya, cincin untuk perhiasan atau kadang-kadang ada peninggalan dari orang tua atau apa. Ya ada artis spesial kayaknya ya untuk orang Indonesia.
Cek dulu. Ini udah saya ikat di sini bagus.
Itu Shahzeem nih kayaknya tahu apa yang saya suka gitu loh. Clarity seperti itu kayaknya nggak gampang dapetnya deh itu. Bagus barang itu.
Siapa ini dicari bagus? Ya tadi Pak Agus sudah saya perlihatkan rubinya, cincinnya. Ternyata beliau sangat menyukainya. Tapi beliau masih proses untuk berpikir untuk membeli ruby itu. Dan mungkin saya akan membicarakannya dengan Pak Shahzeem nanti. Iya biasa Mas, kalau kita mungkin memperlihatkan batu itu langsung satu kali terjadi transaksi. Mungkin beliau kan uangnya juga mungkin agak besar, jadi mungkin beliau pikirkan dulu untuk pembayarannya atau gimana, biasanya begitu prosesnya.
We've decided to let Agus keep the ring for a bit and let him consider it. After all, he's a childhood friend. It's only fair for him to take some time to think it through. Previously, my cousin Imran made contact with a Black Opal mine in Banten, Indonesia. He went to the mine and managed to get some samples.
Harga benernya berapa, Pak?
Harga benernya paling dijual 150, Pak.
150.000.
Kalau yang bahan.
The Black Opal that I received from Imran has a good body color. However, it was lacking the fire that I normally search for in opals. The material is really good, and I'm really sure that they will have better quality opals from that mine. While getting the Black Opal polish, Imran also secured an Alexandrite. An Alexandrite is a beautiful color-changing gemstone. This stone usually occurs in Brazil. It does seem like it was such a good deal. I really need to get it tested. this stone, I just want to check whether it's authentic. Munza, I'm actually looking for a 2 to 3 carat sapphire.
It's not going to be easy to find this.
Thing is shape.
Shape tu boleh pemirsa.